Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at how to get verified on any social media. In the year 2019, what is cooler than having one of those blue check marks on your profile? It seems like only major celebs like the Kardashians can get this. But you can get it too, and you don't even have to have over 1,000 followers. So here is how to get verified on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat. I'm gonna break down how to get it done on every platform, and you don't need to be Kylie Jenner to get it. But before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Let's start off with how to get verified on the #1 app for young people right now. That is Instagram. Instagram has hundreds of millions of users and only a tiny percentage of them are verified. Up until last year, there was no way to get verified on Instagram. You simply had to wait for them to reach out to you and give you the blue check mark. And some people even paid thousands of dollars for Instagram accounts with a blue check mark. But now you don't need to do that anymore. I'll tell you what you need to do to actually get verified. But first I'm going to tell you how to apply to be verified, and anyone can do it. First you need to go to your Instagram profile and click those 3 lines to bring up the menu. Then you need to click onto account settings, and then click request verification. Most people don't even know this is built into the menu on Instagram because it's new. After you do that, you need to enter your username and then your full name. And then you need to upload a picture of your ID to prove it's actually you. If you're trying to verify a personal account, you should use a driver's license, a passport, or an ID card. However, if you have a business you're trying to verify, then you need to use a tax filing, a utility bill, or an article of incorporation. Then you simply click submit and Instagram will review your request. Anyone can do this, but what steps do you actually need to take to make sure you'll be approved? Well, there are 4 things Instagram look for when verifying an account. The first is to be authentic. This one is quite simple. You must just be a real person or a real business. If you have a made-up fake name or a fake business name that doesn't really exist, you won't get verified. Your name on Instagram should match the name on your ID card if you're a person, or your article of incorporation if you're a business. The next thing Instagram look for is unique content. If you're posting other people's photos, you're likely not going to get verified. For example, if you simply post memes or other people's photos, you likely won't get the verified tick. But if you're taking all of your photos and videos yourself, then you meet their criteria for uniqueness. The next thing they look for is a complete profile. A complete profile consists of many things. First of all, your account has to be a public account. Instagram do not verify private accounts, so make sure you switch it to public. Your account also needs to have a bio which reflects you. You can't just put a funny quote or something silly in there, you need to really write about yourself. You also need a profile picture of your face if you're a person, or your logo if you're a business. And you also need to include a website. Ideally, this should be your website. But if you don't have a website, then you can link to an article if it's about yourself. However, one thing Instagram do not want is you to link to another service. For example, if you put your link to your YouTube channel or your Facebook page in your Instagram, they're not going to verify you. And lastly, the most difficult thing Instagram look for is a notable person. You need to be somewhat well known, but not as well known as you may think. You may think that being notable means you have millions and millions of followers. But really, people with a few thousand or a few hundred followers do sometimes get verified. All you need to do for this is increase your media presence. For example, you could write on something like Medium. If you have a few articles that you've written on Medium, then you may be verified. You could also write some BuzzFeed news articles, and that will also get you verified. Even something simple like being featured in your local news will actually help to get you verified. So make sure you have that media presence, and you may be verified on Instagram with only a few hundred followers. So that's how to get verified on Instagram very fast. If Instagram denies your first request for verification, then you will get a notification. And the cool thing is you can reapply in 30 days if you change up your criteria to meet their requirements. Make sure you follow their requirements and keep trying, and I'm sure you'll get verified eventually. Alright, now let's move on to how to get verified on Twitter. Twitter verification is a very tricky thing to get, and if you do get it, you'll likely get a lot of followers. According to research, people are 60% more likely to follow a verified account than a non-verified account on Twitter. Now, on Twitter you used to be able to actually apply to be verified. However, because people were getting upset at who was getting verified, Twitter actually closed this service. That means you actually just need to meet their requirements, and then they have to verify you themselves. But it's actually much easier to be verified on Twitter than on Instagram, despite them having to do it for you. Now, the first thing you need to do to get verified on Twitter is follow Twitter Verified. Twitter actually have an account called Verified, and that account will DM you to tell you if you've been verified. But if you're not following them, they won't be able to DM you, so make sure you're following that account first. Then you need to get your account ready to be verified. First of all, you need to make sure you have a real Twitter avatar. This has to be a real photo of your face or a logo of your business. Then you have to use your real name if you want to be verified. Don't use a jokey name, and try and actually keep it real, as Twitter looks for authenticity when verifying accounts. Next up, in the links section of your Twitter account, make sure you add the link to your website. Unlike on Instagram, this cannot be an article you've written. This actually has to be your site. If you don't have a website, then you can easily make one. Just Google how to make a website and you can make one for about $10. Next up, you have to make sure your account is public. If your account's on private, Twitter do not even consider you to be verified. And lastly, you need to make sure your bio really describes you. Feel free to brag in your bio and list any achievements you may have. For example, if you've won awards which make you seem notable, be sure to list them off. First, they'll actually ask you for a reason as to why your account should be verified. The best thing to say here is that you're seeing lots of impersonations and you need to be verified. They'll also ask you to prove your identity, and you need to send a driver's license or a passport to do this. And finally, you should send a link to your website or an article about you or your business. On Twitter, it's really not about how many followers you have, it's about who you are. But you can very easily get verified simply by having a few articles written by you or about you. So that's how to get verified on Instagram and Twitter. But what about on Facebook? In America, many young people don't use Facebook as much. But everyone else in the world does, and Facebook is still one of the largest social media companies of all time. But how does one get verified on Facebook? Well, Facebook do not verify profiles, only pages. And there are actually two different types of verification on Facebook. One of them is a blue tick, but another one is a grey tick. Absolutely anyone can get a grey tick, but very few people can get the blue tick. However, I'm going to show you how to get both. To get the grey verification badge on Facebook, you need to click Settings at the top of your page. Then you need to click General and then Page Verification. After that, you need to click Verify this page and then click Get Started. It's very simple to get verified. You simply need to put in a publicly listed phone number for your business. You then need to add your country and your language. This is simply to verify that a business actually exists. It's not necessarily the most useful thing in the world, but it does give you a big ego boost, and it will show your page is legit. But what about when it comes to getting that blue verification badge on your Facebook page? The people Facebook consider for this are public figures, government officials, and businesses. When you think about it, that is most people, so it's fairly easy to get verified. There are some requirements to get a blue verified tick, and you need to meet them all to get verified. The first is you need to have high quality and professional content made by you. You can't just use images from elsewhere, you actually need to make the content yourself, and it has to be good. You can't just throw any old thing up onto the page, you actually need to make it really high quality. If you post images or videos, you need to make sure they're professionally made. You also need to have high engagement on your posts. This means lots of likes and comments. Another thing you need is a link to your page from an official website. For example, Coca-Cola links to their Facebook page from the Coca-Cola website. You also have to make sure your page's About section is completed. This is stuff like your bio, awards, phone number, website, and address. The more this is completed, the better chance you have of getting that blue tick. Now, to request verification, you need to go to Facebook Help and click on Something Isn't Working. Then under What is the Problem, you need to click Pages. Then use the text box and introduce yourself and your page. Write about why you should be verified and how your page deserves a blue tick. You should also link to any articles about your page or a Wikipedia page about your business or you. You should also upload a valid government ID like a passport or a driving license. You then need to wait 7 to 14 days to hear back from Facebook. They may reject your request and tell you why you were rejected, or they'll approve it and give you that blue tick. Alright, now let's look at how to get verified on YouTube. Of course, we're using this platform right now, and if you go down to my profile, you'll see a grey verified tick. But how exactly do you get that? Well, it's surprisingly easy if you meet the requirements. One very easy way to get a verified badge on YouTube is to be an advertiser. If you take out ad space on YouTube, you can get a verified badge with any number of subscribers. But if you're just a regular channel, then you need to have at least 100,000 subscribers to get a verified badge. After you've done that, you can submit a request to be verified by YouTube. However, you need to comply with YouTube's community guidelines. This means you can't imposter other people. For example, if I made a channel called Justin Bieber, that would not be verified as I am not Justin Bieber. Also, you need to make sure you do not change your name. If you get verified on YouTube and then change your name, you'll lose your verification badge. Of course, you can just reapply for it after you rename your channel, but you will lose it when you first rename it. And finally, let's look at how to get verified on Snapchat. You may be wondering, can you even get verified on Snapchat? Well, the answer is yes, but instead of getting a tick, you actually get an emoji. You may see that some very popular accounts have emojis beside their names. For example, Bernie Sanders has an American flag, and Kylie Jenner has a crown emoji. This verification emoji depends on what the nature of your account is. But how do you actually get a verified emoji from Snapchat? Well, first off, you need to get at least 50,000 viewers per story. That's not easy, but if you have great content and know a lot of people, then you will be able to get this. If you have lots of followers on another platform, then promote your Snapchat on it and it will really increase your story followers. The next thing you have to do is contact Snapchat to let them know that you're a big brand. First, you need to go to Snapchat's site and then click Report a Safety Concern. Then click My Snapchat account and another Snap account is pretending to be me. It will then say, do you still need help? And then you have to click yes. Then put all of the information about your account and say that people have been pretending to be you if that's the case. After a while, Snapchat will see whether you're eligible to be verified or not, and they will give you a verified emoji. If you're known for singing, they may give you a guitar. Or if you're known for photography, they will give you a camera emoji. It all depends on the kind of content you make and put out onto Snapchat. So there you go, guys. That is how to get verified on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or Snapchat. So now it's time to try these things out and get your accounts that blue tick. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for if you would want to be verified on any social media accounts. If you guys want more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that coming up on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now, leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.